Can I hear a replay? Yeah.
Good morning, Chris.
Good morning. How are you?
Oh, surviving.
Let's see. I better actually look who I'm admitting before I admit them, right? Let's see here.
I can't stay long today, but I thought I'd check in.
No problem. That's why I don't require registrations. Come and go as you need to. Hi, Rob.
Good morning.
Marv's here. Hi, Jill.
Morning.
Gotta change my name here. Let's
There we go.
see. Rename me.
Keeper, I'm on a Zoom meeting.
Marv's phone rang and I'm looking around for mine. I think I have to get a different ringtone.
I was on a Zoom meeting last night with a university in Thailand.
Oh,
Yeah, things just happen on Zoom.
I
And this
know.
happened to be a presentation on the eating in Chiang Mai. I don't know if you've been to Thailand, but Chiang Mai is up north, and it's a provincial city and known for its food. And I got really, it was very academic, but I got really hungry just watching. It's amazing what you can do.
I know it. I've been attending not frequently, but infrequently. I've been attending the Chicago Downtown Club Rotary meeting, and it's they call themselves Rotary One because that's Paul Harris's club, and they're about 165 or 70 people, but they get some major speakers, and all you have to do is go to their website and log on or go to their website and ask to register to their meetings, and anybody can go. I think they're at noon on Tuesdays, which is like 10 o'clock our time, which is, you know, kind of an easy time for me anyway to
Well, I think
connect.
programs are becoming, as we've sort of moved from just working on engagement during COVID to realizing COVID's still here. We realize our programs are increasingly important piece of what we do, because while we meet on Zoom, it's not the same as in person. We don't have quite the same fellowship, but I think people are looking to the programs. So you're right, reaching out. We've had speakers from Panama and from around the district and whatnot. And I think it's really great. It's helping us with the engagement piece.
Well, yeah, because if you have a world-class speaker or, a regional class speaker, then you can market that and attract non-Rotarians to come and hear the program and then possibly get interested in Rotary, which is a win for us. And it's a win for them too, because they need to know about Rotary. Good morning, Nancy and Lee and Stephen and Patty. Let's see, I think I got the rest of you. Oops, here comes Kim Myers. I have to pay attention to the waiting room. I'm finally getting used to doing that instead of leaving people sitting there for hours. I'll give it another minute or two so that we can get most of the stragglers coming in. Got a good topic for our program today, always one that, in fact, we've started talking about it already. By good programs, that's a way to attract members. But I'll let
Morning, Lee Ackroth.
you can talk,
Everybody?
Lee.
Good morning.
There he is. Lee is going to be presenting our program next month. Is that cool or what?
Well,
Wow.
that's cool.
What a setup that Christine just put out there. Thanks for doing that, Christine.
It's marketing, you know. I've got to tantalize everybody for what's coming up. Here comes Jerry Kasanovic, so everybody sit up straight and behave. And Thomas Tinsley. Okay. You guys can talk. Just don't talk about me while I'm busy here.
Lee, what's with that dark overcast background you got behind you there?
Isn't that just miserable being above the rainbow? You know, in the month of July, I think it was July, I climbed Mary's Peak 30 times and I took
Wow.
a picture every time I went up, right? And this is just one of them. It was such a nice day.
Oh,
You had a lot of nice days in July. They probably
Yeah.
looked a lot similar in each picture.
Is there a purpose to going up Mary's Peak every day for 30 days? Is this a penance or what?
You
Oh,
know,
there's another picture.
I will tell you, Rob, sometimes it seems that way. What I've learned is at least once a year, I do something really stupid just to check my physical fitness. And this year, that was it. Yeah.
Well, I don't think that's stupid. I think it's a good way to check it, and it's a beautiful view once you get up there.
Yeah.
Hi, Thomas, and hi, Jerry.
Good morning.
Nice to see both of you here. Let's see, it's 3 minutes after. I'm going to go ahead and get this party started. So I don't know if you noticed that we have a facilitator today, but we don't have a program. We don't have an outside expert coming and telling us everything we need to know about attracting members. Because I think the brain trust is in this room or on this screen, I guess I should say, since it's a Zoom meeting. So what we're going to do is we're going to divide our day, our hour, into 3 parts, and we're going to do one-on-ones or 3-on-1s to talk about first old ideas for attracting members that maybe have gotten out of favor, but we could maybe bring them back. Or something that we're doing that's been an old idea that's really working well. So those are the kinds of things I want you to share and bring back to the larger group. The second session is going to be new techniques that are working well in your club, or new techniques that you've heard of that are working well in other clubs. And then the third one is harebrained schemes. Actually, that's what I thought of calling it, but I thought maybe I should call it out of the box ideas that are something that you thought of somewhere along the line or you heard about somewhere along the line, but it's just too far out there. Maybe there's a way we could twist it, mix it with one of our old ideas, mix it with one of our new ideas, and come up with something that would attract members. One thing I expect to hear about today is programs. In the pre-forum discussion, we had some conversation about the programs that we get. And while we're still stuck with various variants of the COVID virus, we might as well take advantage of the opportunity to bring programs in from wherever, but that might be something that you can use as your launching pad to talk about. So I'm going to break us into, let's see, how do I do this? Breakout rooms. And I'm going to create 1, 2, 3, let's see, we got 13 of us. So I'm going to create 4 of them. And I'd like everybody to get a chance to chat, okay? So if you're the kind of person like me that tends to do all the talking, ask somebody else to join in. Make sure that everybody is getting an equal opportunity. And if you're one of those people that don't jump in, be willing to, you know, stretch yourself and put yourself out there. Let's talk about some ideas that will help our individual clubs and all of the clubs in the district, or those of you that are there, for attracting new members. I'll give you a 1 minute, almost done. I'll probably call this 10 minutes or so. We're going to be talking about old ideas that are worth keeping or bringing back for attracting new members. Any questions in the meantime? You guys can wing it. I know you can. Here we go. Open all rooms. Still here, Jerry? Yeah. Okay. Vinny, are you there? Hi, Kim.
Hi, are we the only ones, Christine?
No, everybody's in breakout rooms and I'm going to end all the breakout rooms. So you will
Oh.
see people come and join you and you don't have to worry about you're the only one here with
Okay,
me.
I was going, well, this is not a very good membership meeting.
Yeah, I know it. Yeah, they've got 44 seconds before they have to be back. So
Oh,
now
okay.
what?
Did you speak first or just put them into breakout rooms first?
No, we are doing, you guys are the speakers this time. So this
Oh,
first
okay.
breakout session was we're talking about attracting members, okay? That's
Yeah.
just a real general thing. So the first group, the first breakout session topic was old ideas that might be worth resurrecting or bringing back or still work really well. So that's what they were talking about. The second one will be new techniques that are working for your club or other clubs that you've heard about. And the third thing is out of the box harebrained schemes that, might be able to be workable if we twist them with some of the other ideas that we heard. Yeah, it looks like everybody's back. Is everybody back? Who's not back? Say something. Okay, well, forget it then. All right, from breakout room number 4, they were small but illustrious. Marv or Joe, who will give us some insights for what you guys talked about?
Marv, I loved your idea. Why don't you go ahead and kick it off?
Marv's always got good ideas.
We don't have any recruitment night. It's with the people that we want to attract, which are typically the younger people, younger being 30-ish. They don't like to be told anything for the most part. They want to have it to be their idea. So we open up all of our meetings to anybody that wants to come. And when we have the members say they're bringing a guest, then we go through a process with that. But I think what Joe and I were talking about was we also do happy hours. Our happy hours are set. Whenever there's a 5th Thursday of the month, and we started this when I was president a couple of years ago, we cancel our meeting on that Thursday night. The next day following, we have a happy hour at a local brewery, and they have a private room back there. What we do is we give anybody that brings anybody that comes, their kids, it's open to the family, anybody. The first time we had it, we had more kids there under 3 than we had members over 60. So it was a good time. So each person, adult that's there, gets 2 drink tickets. They don't pay for anything. And they can get beer, wine, soda pop, seltzer water, whatever their drink of choice is. And then we basically contract with one of the pizza trucks that are on premises to start bringing out pizzas at 4:45, and every 15 minutes they bring out another 3 pizzas of different kinds. And that's our happy hour. And then I make sure that everyone is talking to everybody new and stuff like that, and you introduce, and it's a great time. The other
So
thing,
you pay for the pizzas and the drink
Every-
tickets?
the club, the membership doesn't pay for anything. Okay, and if the reason we do that is how our due structure is set up. Okay,
Gotcha.
and so any event that we have that involves catering, like we're planning our Christmas party right now
Mm-hmm.
at $26 a person, no one pays for anything. And our dues are the lowest of most of the clubs in our district.
Well, Marv Kaplan might be somebody that you want to check in with. And you know, one thing that I joined a greeters organization in our local chamber, and they do a lot of what they call one-on-ones. So if you're at an event like this, a Zoom meeting, you can put a private chat into Marv and say, hey, could you and I schedule a Zoom one-on-one sometime, you know, in the near future? And schedule that where you drill down into these things with these connections. Part of why we're here is to make connections around the district. It's hard to solve every problem, answer every question in a 1 hour Zoom meeting when I have to move it on and let everybody talk. So I'm going to do that. Patty, can I ask you to debrief us on what your group talked about? Because I was giving you a bad time about, you said you talked, but when I was in your group, I didn't get to hear you. I just heard Lee and Stephen.
So we talked about just some of the old ideas are, you know, bringing guests to meetings, but you have to have exciting meetings. And a lot of us don't feel like we've had a lot of exciting meetings because they're by Zoom, and to social events and inviting people to help with service projects is an old standby, because then hopefully if they become interested, they know they're engaged in that service project and they'll be an active member. We did talk a little bit about whether or not clubs do some kind of a welcome package, handout. It's kind of old school for those of us probably over 50, got stuff like that, but still, how do you, if you don't have like paper to explain everything, then how are you getting that out to the younger folks that really don't want paper, but they do want to be able to refer back to it? So that means your web presence. And the younger people aren't using Facebook, they're using Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how many of us are big Instagram users, but the young people are. So
Yeah,
that's
our
some of what
club
we
started
discussed.
Instagram and we got about 3 posts. Not good. Let's see. Well, thank you. There's some good things coming about. How about Lee? No, I already called on you. Jill, Nancy, and Thomas were in a room. Thomas, would you mind debriefing us? You're kind of a new kid on the Rotary block, and so he says, well, what do I, I don't really know because I haven't been here, but what did you guys talk about?
Well, one thing that we did talk about that, an idea from the past that really didn't work too well was seeking membership from, the upper, what was the word? The upper echelon, and, like business owners and type, that hasn't really worked too well, at least for our 3 clubs in the past. I did like what the first gentleman said, how they opened up their club to everyone. And, that's a great idea because obviously, if you're opening up to your club to everybody, you have more opportunity to gain new membership. So that's something that we talked about that didn't really work too well.
We have a spring satellite club within Southtown, and they open all their meetings to anyone that wants to come to them. And they've doubled their size during COVID. It's like they didn't pitch them. They just invited them to the meetings, and they're in a retirement community. So they have sort of an encapsulated group right there. But it's kind of gets away from what Thomas just said, that upper echelon feeling that, you know, you have to be somebody important before you. I know when I joined Rotary, I thought you had to be a CEO or a general manager, somebody important with a budget, you know, that you could spend on Rotary, and that was a qualification. And then you had to be invited, so, or sponsored. And so, you know, we might want to look at that. Let's see, what group did I not call on? Rob,
Jerry's.
were you, huh?
Jerry and Rob, yeah. And mine.
Okay, let's see, Jerry, let's ask Rob to summarize.
Yeah, I like some of the ideas already expressed. We're getting into the new ideas already. I can't write fast enough because it's carrying me forward. But I think the key, and I think everybody agrees, it's the personal invite that seems to be the old thing that works the best, and that people are joining because somebody's asking to join, especially during COVID. And the idea of using your programs as a lever to interest, to send announcements out to people that might be interested in that topic, whether they're Rotarians or not, is a good way to do that. Let me see. So the whole idea of using your younger professionals to reach out to younger professionals. I think we've all done that to some degree, but I look at our club and there's probably 6 of us, and we're all old dogs, that have invited 90% of the new members, and we're inviting people we know, but that doesn't bring us forward and build the club
No, that's
for the next 10 years. Kim, did you remember anything from the meeting?
No, I mean, that's mostly we talked about. I mean, I know we kind of side vented into programs and into projects only because we feel like that's one thing that
Draws people together.
brings people together and easy to invite others to join you, right? So that's, yeah.
We're doing a visioning process right now in our club, and we're looking for focus groups. And so I invited some people to a focus group, and one of them that I invited to has not been to any meetings or projects or anything. And she says, well, yes, I'm willing to be in a focus group, but I'm kind of been out of the loop. And I said, that's exactly why we want you there. You know, we want to know what people that are, you know, they're not inviting people because obviously they're not engaged, they're not excited. Because when we're excited about our club, yeah, it's easy to invite people. But when you're just telling people, okay, here's an assignment, invite somebody, that doesn't really fly. So let's jump into the next. I'm going to merge the 2 sessions because we're all too chatty, and myself included. I take on responsibility of new techniques that are working well for you or other clubs, and out of the box ideas that you can combine some of the old ideas and combine some of the new ideas and throw some harebrained idea spin on it and see what we can come up with that might just be really fun to try in our Rotary clubs. So I'm going to put you in different groups. I'm going to pull us back together at probably 10 till, I better give you longer than that. I'll pull us back together at 15 till or 12 till or something like that. So you can kind of keep an eye on the clock, and I will stop in and see how you're all doing, okay? Open all rooms. Okay, how long have you been waiting, Mike? I have to apologize. I was in the middle of something else and I didn't check the waiting room. And Harry, same to you. How long have you been waiting? Did you give up on me? Well, I'm going to put you in breakout rooms. There's Harry.
All right, yay.
Sorry, I don't know how long you were waiting in that breakout room, but I just got the notice that you were there.
Okay, well, I was late, so
Well, that's what you get, I tell you.
that's what I get.
I'm gonna put
perfectly
you in a breakout room as soon as I can remember how to do it.
Okay,
Okay, breakout rooms. Here we go. You're going to be assigned to room 3, maybe. And Mike will be assigned to room 2. There you go. Oh, no. What's that? Well, that cracked me up. Nobody came back early. Sometimes when you close up a breakout room, you know, people start going, okay, I've heard enough of this crap. So like, it's like nobody wanted to stop talking, which is a good thing. Although to wrap up by, and using your time wisely, we've only got an hour together. I hope you're making some connections that you can follow up with individually. And feel free to use that chat room to make those connections and then follow up later, trade email addresses or what have you. Or you can always get them on DACDB. Okay, let's see. Who was in, Nancy, who was in your room and what did you guys talk about?
Well, let's see.
What's that?
That's
never know
Marv's
who's-
phone.
I never know whose phone it is, you know. Is
I
that
know
my
it.
phone?
Everybody's reaching for their phones. Okay, Nancy, where were we?
Well, I had Stephen and Rob, and who else did we have? We had, I just saw her picture, Kim. No, not Kim.
Oh, yeah, me.
Kim. Oh, no, it was, yes, that's the other Kim. Sorry.
Yeah, there's Kim. Yeah,
Two
right,
Kims,
yeah,
okay.
there's two Kims.
One of the things that we were talking about, everybody came up with great ideas, talked a lot about fundraising and how to do that in terms of opening it up to the community and inviting people for fundraising events. And one of the other things that we had talked about was I had done a focus group for younger members last week to just find out from them what was attractive to them about the club, what would they want to continue to do, and would make them want to bring some of their friends to the club. And one of the things that's really helped us is over the summer, we were doing hybrid meetings. So we would have face-to-face meetings, but we would also have a big screen with folks dialing in on Zoom. So the younger members really like that, and they really want to continue that. Now we have a lot of older members who haven't been calling into the Zoom calls because they don't want to do Zoom. But I think going forward, it's something that we are going to consider doing, even when we can all be in the same room together, to continue to have the Zoom option, because the younger members like to call in from their desk at work, or they got younger kids and they can't get in the car and drive to the church or wherever we're meeting. So that's one of the options that we talked about in terms of attracting and keeping younger members going forward.
Yeah, I think we have to meet everybody where they are. Let's see, Mike Hewitt's got his hand up. You got to unmute yourself. Mike, unmute yourself, or else we're not going to listen.
He's trying, I think.
Yeah.
I was
There you
trying,
are.
it wasn't doing it. No, I must have made a mistake to give my hand up because I was just
Oh, okay.
saying,
All
so I
righty.
don't have anything at this time.
Well, there was let's see, Jerry, what did you guys talk about in your room? You had Marv, Jerry, and Lee, I think, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, Marv, Redmond Club is clicking on all cylinders. They do a great job. Communication is at a high level. They do a meet and greet. I don't know if it's a bar or a pizza parlor or something like that. They invite people in and family too. I mean, whenever you can engage family members, bring in your spouse, bring in your significant others, bring in the kids. So you got soda pop and pizza. So you've got a reason to come to this thing. It's not just to sit around and talk. Now, the pandemic has kind of thrown a wrench in all this stuff, and we can appreciate that. But I thought that was a good idea. Yeah, we talked about not only bringing in new members, but also retention too. One of the keys to retention is also, inviting new members, is participant engagement. So if you bring in a new member, or your old members, or your more established members, everybody has something to do. Everybody is stepping up to the plate to serve the club. And I had mentioned that these action awards, these $500 action awards that are going out at the club, most of the people, I'd say the majority of them right now, are buying technology equipment to do these hybrid meetings because they see this as of value. Even if we move out of the pandemic by the end of the year and early in January, hybrid meetings might still exist exactly as mentioned. They attract some people younger and older and because time is one of those factors that a lot of people look at, the time to go to a meeting and come back from a meeting and do a lunch. And if you can do that from your desktop and eat your sandwich in your professional atmosphere, you save some time. So time and family are two of the things that we had talked about.
Thank you. That's so true that, we've got to re-engage constantly our older and longer term members. They always have this I'm sorry, I'm having puppy problems here. We have this old quote that you never get a second chance to make a good first impression. We are always making good first impressions, new first impressions with our members. I mean, if that old saying was true, then why would anybody ever get divorced? Wouldn't you make a good first impression in the first place and then you could skate the rest of the time? No, we have to keep working on those relationships forever and keep validating and reinforcing why people joined in the first place. And that's easy to forget when they're the ones that are engaged. So you have to keep that up. Let's see, who else haven't I called on? Jill, what group were you with?
So I was in group number 3. We had Joe and Harry and Vinny, President-elect Vinny McNeil. We actually talked about the international president's, one of his mandates, if you would, everyone bring one. And as old as this sounds, I mean, I remember this back in my college days when I was in a sorority. It was everyone bring one, but it truly works. And we talked about building some kind of incentive around this.
Oh, right.
So if you bring someone to your 5th Thursday meeting or to a hangout social, you get mentioned at the next meeting, and you also had some sort of reward, like everybody that brought somebody gets their name put in a pile, and at the end of the year, you pull for some sort of prize. And we thought that would really incentivize people to bring somebody. And then the other thing we talked about, which I know we've talked about before, is the speakers. It's worth reaching out to them and seeing if they might want to become a member. But Joe brought up the idea that it's really important to have somebody assigned to follow up with that speaker, because it's one thing to ask, but you have to follow up to see if yay or nay. Joe, Harry, am I forgetting anything?
Good job, Jill.
Good ideas, you guys. I mean, these, we're riffing on the basics. I'm using my old jazz background to say riffing, but you know what I mean? You just take it and you run with it and moderate it or change it and make it your own. What group did I not call on? I've lost track. Mike, do you have your hand up by mistake or?
I don't have my hand up, and I don't know, but I was in the group that you assigned me that hasn't talked yet.
Okay, well, why don't you tell us what you talked about?
Well, the first thing we have, he says relatively new. 4 years isn't relatively new. You're entrenched now, but he was talking about the ability to use social media to reach out to people who, are newer, younger people are of course highly associated with social media and what it does. And so they were trying to establish a way to reach more people in social media to encourage them to become associated with Rotary. I got my nose into it. I'm old school, and part of what I spoke about was the fact that, one-on-one relationships, just like our current Rotary president is saying, bring one, everybody. Well, mine goes back to inviting people to come to your work parties, inviting them to come to your social events, inviting them, but then following up with that. An example I showed was last night. We had a estate sale that was donated to us. So we went in, cleaned it up, and all the money from the estate sales coming as a fundraiser for Rotary for community service. And last night I had a lady text me that she was interested in an item for the estate sale. The conversation then ended up being through text, this social media, about her desire to learn more about Rotary and potentially become a Rotarian. And of course, I, as president, invited her to come to our meeting. But those associations where you come through this, we probably explained more and taught more people about Rotary at this event, that they'd show up and ask, what is Rotary? And all of our people that were there were explaining that. And so we got more word out just by this socialization that was there.
Good deal. I'm going to have to cut you off because I'm going to have to cut us all off. My email address is Christine@Leader Support Service. If you want to have a one-on-one, contact me. We'll set up a time. We can just Zoom wherever we are together. Do it over lunch, do it at a coffee break, bring your own coffee. Next month again, we're going to have Lee Eckroth. He's the district sub-chair of membership that focuses on new clubs. And he doesn't want to talk about, oh, let's all start new clubs. He wants to talk about, why should we consider new clubs? What's in it for me? What's in it for you? What's in it for your club to sponsor a new club? With that, I got to run. You got to run. We got to work to do to continue our Rotary commitments. So thank you guys, and I hope to see you next month.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Hey, guys.
Okay.